It's your boy In Show, but you already know.
I wanted more. Yeah. And I wanted to see actors. I wanted to see a live action when I was a kid. And I'm getting what I asked for. There's a pipeline. And they just keep cranking it out. So the quality's getting worse. But they keep cranking it. They keep turning that dial.
And they're blowing me is really what it is.
They don't really care either if it's great or bad because they're not trying to appeal to everyone anymore. And they're not trying to do good. They're just trying to find the people that will like the thing that they make and make a thing for them. She-Hulk ain't for me, but I love it. But they didn't write that show for me. They wrote that show for girls. They specifically wrote that show for high-class women.
She-Hulk is good.
She-Hulk is actually not bad, Nehemiah. You'd be surprised.
I mean, yeah, I know you and Kino were talking to me about the other day.
You would be surprised about...
I was like, but is it really good, though?
I'd say some episodes have been good and some episodes have been like... brain soup.
Brain soup, he says.
Yeah. It could certainly be worse. Could be better. We're going to talk about
you want the water just to have on the side?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay, actually.
I appreciate you. I put my cup in the sink.
I got you.
Ooh. Fancy. Water bottle with no...
it ripped off when I grabbed it for whatever reason. So,
I like it.
But it is unopened, so it's all you, big dog. It's all you.
For sure.
Is that everything? I got the audio recording for me, you, and it's on that. I got that done. Lighting looks...
Oh, just as a real quick, because you're going to have to cut this stuff down anyway.
Go ahead.
I do want to talk about Core before I leave tonight.
Okay.
I did finally finish it.
You finished it?
Yeah, all the way through for
Oh, that's my dog.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Hey.
Let me tell you something. It is rare that a story starts off the MCs and everyone already cold and tells the whole story from the point of we can win now. And I still am invested. And I was looking like, this will look cool. At the very end of the day, even if I don't think it's narratively sound to have the hero's journey be skipped a little bit and have everyone at the height of power, sometimes it just does work. And my delicate sensibilities don't always matter. And I will just say, even if it ain't for me, this is cool.
I appreciate it.
And that's what will get you a big audience too. You do have to, unfortunately, appeal to the lowest common denominator because that's where the majority of the audience is.
Yeah.
Sometimes being narratively clever and thinking 10 steps ahead and surprising and subverting doesn't work because people don't always care about that. It stops being cool after a while, just like sympathetic villains. Just tell me a story and show me some cool shit. And this story got some cool stuff. And it's already got a layer or two of, that's kind of sad. And also, like, so he's a potato? He doesn't have limbs? That's...
Oh my gosh! I didn't know if that was going to sit well or not.
He's alive? But anyway.
Okay. I mean, dude, I don't know if you know, but that is I appreciate it. I appreciate it because
it's cool.
Not only are you one of the very few that have actually finished, that said they were going to finish it, but you're actually someone that is actively giving feedback continuously. Like the only person that's truly giving me enough feedback for me to change what I've been talking about has been Matthew. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's as invested because he views it just as he views a regular anime show, which I appreciate. He's got a different take on it than you do and than other people do.
You know, my mind goes to less of anime and more of like Avatar.
Yeah. That's the sort of vibe I was going for a little bit with a little anime-esque in it.
It also strikes me as like a RWBY style story where because in RWBY they weren't exactly like as cold and strong as they could be, but in the beginning they were already like, why are you wielding that hammer like a nunchuck? When did you train that? But they just knew how to do it. Also, that hammer is a grenade launcher. Sorry.
Oh, dude,
that's RWBY for you.
I mean, real quick, I think they're blowing it, but they could come back.
They fumbled the bag a lot.
That's one.
But that's because RWBY's written by men.
Oh, but then also I didn't know the writer actually passed away too.
Oh yeah, no, the original writer Monty, sad.
Yeah, very
and
sad.
Then two white dudes who didn't have any real like They don't.
We're just gonna let that be. Yeah, they're blowing it.
That's another day.
I will
another day.
I will say one thing that they also poorly did was they wrote in my monkey man.
Son?
Too cold.
My man, son?
And then they threw him away.
With the poles?
Pole?
It's because he went
nunchuck
somewhere.
And pistols.
He went somewhere in the story. I don't know if you've caught up all the way.
I've watched up to volume 8, wherever they fell down that little.
Yeah. So the next volume is going to be obviously dealing with the fallout of that.
in his hometown.
And when they get out of there, they were talking about going to the place where Team Sun, Team SSSN, where they actually went, like where they are. That's also where the Killer Quartet dude and the girl with the skates. Yeah. That's where like all the other. That's where Team Coffee.
Funky and them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole thing was that they introduced him too well,
weren't they?
Yeah, with the horn. Name. They got probably the best track overall, the best OST overall in the whole show.
Nah, it's definitely Caffeine.
Caffeine is up there. Trust me.
Yo, listen up. I hope
you when Bunny Girl went crazy, she was like caffeine, and then she pulled out the little machine gun in the suitcase. I was like, oh my goodness, this show was so cool. It had so much potential. They blew it anyway.
The bag.
Anyway, dude flexed Torchic. I'm gonna say Tor. I can't remember his name. Whatever. The dude with the cane, the very first villain that RWBY ever went up against.
Roman.
Turtwick, that's his name. He flexed him.
Roman Torchwick, yep.
He flexed him. He said,
wink,
and then we're okay. So he's busted. Cool. Blake comes in, smacks her out the way. I'm like, okay, so he's gonna keep the 1v1, right? Okay, you got it. All right. Next time I see him on the screen fighting, he's gonna be cold.
What do we see him do? And Sun is gone.
He does nothing. I mean, he does turn up a little bit.
He helps her out a little bit to get to
her. In the tournament, he does a little bit, but it's really the dude with the gun that.
Yeah, they lost Monty right before that season, so you can tell
before season 4,
season 3. So the tournament season 3.
Season 3 was good though.
Well, you can tell that the animation quality took a nosedive a little bit. The fight choreography was a thing that Monty was extremely good at.
Are we talking about the same season 3?
Season 3 is with the tournament.
Yeah. The quality went up from season 2.
Me and you gonna have to sit down and watch RWBY season 2. We gotta watch the cafeteria fight, and then I'm gonna show you.
Cafeteria fight was really funny.
But then I'm gonna show you the fight between Winter and Crow, and it's an extremely it's more choppy, and it flows worse because they didn't have Monty to literally tell them. This is how my brain sees it. So while it was a bit more of a spectacle, it was significantly worse on the anime, and it's gotten significantly better because they've had time to grow the team, grow as animators.
I don't know if the fights have gotten better. The best fights.
We gotta do the intro because this could just be a part of the thing.
I know this is gonna be little bloopers. I'm just having but dude, the fights.
Kenny and Maya disagree about RWBY for 45 minutes.
Yeah, the best fights were in season 3, if I'm not mistaken. They had some cold ones in 5 and in 6, but after season 6, the fights were not very good.
Bro, okay, but season 7 is when Ironwood fights against the dude with the technopath guy.
Yeah.
When I was like, they got it back.
You know what? That was clean. You know what?
Pretty much anytime Cinder fought in that season.
7? Oh wait, no, because they had 3 whole volumes in
when that was happening. So that was before he actually turned heel.
Yeah.
And
that was a clean fight.
You know why he's like that? There's a word of God about why he actually fell from grace and went crazy.
I mean, he's a complete what's the word? Not absolutist. Well, that
tyrant, fascist.
No. There's 4 different ways of morality. It's
authoritarianism.
Yeah, authoritarian. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Is it capitalist, socialist, authoritarian, and no? It's liberal, conservative, authoritarian, libertarian. Yeah.
But it's alt something. I'm blowed right now. That's all I am.
Authoritarians and libertarians fall opposite of each other, just like conservatives and.
But I'll say authoritarian. But yeah, I think that's the reason why.
Nope. His semblance is the reason why he went crazy.
What's his semblance?
So his semblance is metal. He will always try to succeed, or something to that degree. I'd have to look it up. It's
literally called metal, or he can
METTLE. So show me your metal. Oh. So because of that, he can't back down. He can't see things anyway besides his own.
Now that I would have never called him because I didn't know that. So I would have never called him. Neither
could anybody else. But my friend had to tell me that's on the wiki. So his semblance is why his mind is all screwed.
Yeah, because he blew.
Also, dude, remember the speedster chick?
Which one?
The speedster that was in Alpha Squad. Every time they fought, I was like, this is cool.
Yeah. You know what? Alpha did have some clean fights.
It's been going. Alpha, is that what her name was? No.
I don't know.
The team was Alpha.
But I know what you're talking about the bunny or the black girl.
Yeah.
Oh, utilitarian.
Oh, utilitarian.
That's what I'm thinking of.
He's not a utilitarianist. Because if he was a utilitarianist, he wouldn't be willing to nuke all of the innocent people.
No, but you said his mind was and because of his mindset, I think he's a
utilitarian. But a utilitarianist would be like, we're going to give all these people weapons and have them stand and fight against the Grim, because that's a better use than just straight up killing everybody. I don't think you could say he was a utilitarian.
You know what? You got a point, because I just read it right there. It says gray is good for the majority of the people.
Yeah, he's definitely not about that. He's about, well, I guess you could think about it like that. He thinks that if you nuke everyone and keep the key safe, it'll be fine. But there's levels to it.
Yeah. But okay, metal. Now I know why that does make him better. That's a better explanation, because I was like, yeah, okay.
It would be better if they told us in the show instead of telling us outside of the media we consume. Because what if I never went to the RWBY fandom wiki to look that up?
Stuff like that is fine. Like if there's like in manga, there's like One Piece has SBS. Like extra facts, I'm fine with that. Or like the little world map books.
Those stuff is cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm fine if that was like a thing in there, because then people would have talked about it on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, if it's just on the wiki page.
And if it's something that's integral to the character, like it's not obvious what his semblance is.
I don't know.
You gotta tell us that stuff.
Yeah.
Just like aura wasn't a thing that was extremely obvious until they made it a point to tell you
when John was
why
like,
he can get knocked
your aura
around.
sucks. Your aura sucks, John. You don't have it. Let me unlock it for you. I was like, oh, okay, so Pure is top tier at this point. What are we talking about? She unlocked his
corpse.
But
Pure the corpse.
GG's.
Imagine liking a character in RWBY. Dead.
I was fine with that though. Story wise, obviously not actually fine with it.
Yeah, they was for sure like, oh, did y'all think people don't have to die?
That's when I was like, okay, RWBY is gonna be it. That's when I was like, RWBY is gonna be it. I was like, this is gonna be it.
For sure was hitting at that point.
You know, that's
and
peak,
then they fumbled the bag.
That's peak RWBY.
The next season and the season after that fumbles the bag.
Because at that point, season 4 on, the arcs they were taking too much time with the filler. Like it's not filler technically. But it's too much time at one location.
It meanders. I would say it takes its time, but that's not even accurate. The show very much meanders.
Yeah, it's like this scene could have easily been, or this episode could have easily grasped the first 2 episodes, or this episode could have grasped the whole 3 long episode we just watched. It could have been cut up and put into place with different lines added in instead.
Pretty much everything with Team Ranger falls under like, this is a lot, and I'm not invested.
It's taking too long. It's taking too long.
And then they give you cool backstory of the blind woman, but that's like 15 seconds and not cool enough to justify everything else.
I actually will say I think her backstory hit better for me than Ren's backstory.
I agree. Like
100%. that was what, 2 episodes long? I don't
Ren's
care.
Character's not consistent for me. He's different from the first 2 seasons as he is later. Yeah, and you can say, oh, it's because they didn't give him a lot of lines. But that's a sidestep from the fact that he was characterized in a way that's different than how he actually is later.
Yeah, he's the dude that is quiet until someone asks him what's really bracking. And then he'll let you know, but quickly, efficiently, and out the way.
And then it's like, oh, he was always hanging around Nora. Yes, he was always hanging around Nora, but it was not like a romantic thing.
And Nora was also hanging around him all the time.
It didn't strike me as it struck me as platonic, but because the show is written by 2 white men who are very, very basic storytellers overall, there are no platonic relationships in the show.
And I would have been perfectly fine with them getting together at the end of the series. Duh, makes sense. But we're not at the end of the series, and I am glad that they didn't just randomly put RWBY and John together, because that would have made me mad.
It's the Anger Katara effect, though, because you know those 2 are going to end up together at the end.
I mean, that's fine if they try and do that, but
I disagree.
John is upset about Pure still. He's not over her.
I wouldn't pair those 2 up just because I don't think every story needs the main characters to end up in love. But I do think Ren and Nora do well with each other. They were obviously like planned to be some kind of like foil to. I mean, like straight man and. It's a buddy cop thing.
Yeah.
He's the straight man. She's the wackadoodle crazy girl. And, like, that's cool. If you want them to be a couple, I'm also okay with that, but that's not how it was hitting at first.
Yeah, it's not needed.
And that's what
it's
it was.
Yeah.
And then Yang and Blake, they are being cowardly with Yang and Blake because everyone in the world either ships them or you got weird people that ship Ruby and Yang, and I don't want to talk about that. But Blake and Yang being shipped together is like, yeah, stay off the internet. Don't do what I do. Yang and Blake is a ship that I'm okay with. Also, Weiss and Blake is a ship that I'm okay with.
I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that.
Don't, but also I don't
can't believe that.
No.
I can see Weiss and Ruby more so than Blake and Weiss. I could see that more.
It's the contrast. It's the black and white. It's the prissy upper class, vaguely racist sometimes and like straight up racist other times, and then the one I'm racist too. It's a classic thing, and that's why they would want that to be a thing because they love making media where slaves and their slave masters are racist, and the bigots and the people they're bigoted against end up falling in love, and that changes everything. No, get the here, bro.
Nah.
If Blake ends up with Yang, I'm cool with it. Weiss and Blake, I can see happening, but like
Ruby
the important thing that I brought this up for
is
Ruby
and Yang is crazy. Anybody that said that, you're insane.
Yeah,
you lost.
I think Crow and Winter's a nice crack ship.
You're wild. You're wild for that. You're wild for that.
But I don't think Winter's old enough to be dating Crow.
No,
Crow's
like 20s. He's like in his 40s.
Oh well, actually, if she's like mid-20s, then never mind. It's fine. Because at that point, you're probably as mature as a person as you're going to become. The only thing he has different over her is like life experience. And no, he's not like 40 because his sister.
No, late 30s.
Yeah, he's like late 30s at absolute oldest.
But it was also weird how they try to make Crow and that one dude. They hinted at it, but then
it's because we're being cowardly and implying that a character's bisexual or gay instead of just coming straight out and not being weird about it.
Yeah, because if they could have easily made it not weird by just specifically putting out there, oh no, they just homies, and they would have made them act like actual homies.
Or somebody could have made a joke and Crow could have blushed a little bit at the idea of him and him being together. I'm okay with them being shipped together. That's cool.
It is what
but
it is.
Don't be a coward and make people have to decide, was this supposed to be platonic or was this supposed to be like a thing? And because of case in point with Ren and Nora, was this supposed to be platonic from the start or were they supposed to be like actually paired together in a romantic sense?
Yeah.
Because if it was supposed to be platonic from the start and then build into being romantic with Ren and Nora, that didn't happen.
No.
And if we can't consistently point to the writers going, you see how these two were? That's exactly how the lucky man and the unlucky man were. Mm-hmm. Now it's ambiguous. Were they supposed to be platonic? Well, it doesn't matter because one of them is dead.
Yeah, R.I.P. that dude. They also made Crow way weaker.
Yeah, they nerf Crow as the story goes along.
They nerf too many. You can't nerf. You just can't.
The way they treated Crow in the beginning, Crow was like Kakashi, where Crow showed up and fought Winter, and he was like, "I'm going to take you 5% more serious by opening up my weapon all the way," and then the fight was cut off. Like, well, clearly he's the man. And then every time he's
Kakashi, bro. I mean, Kakashi. He was that dude up until Orochimaru got put into place along with Kabuto. I was like, okay, Kakashi really not that strong.
That's not true. Well, you capping. And here's why I know you capping. I can't believe you just fix your lips to say that. Because the next time Kakashi actually has to fight for real, like actually fight, is Kakuzu. Actually, that was a long time too.
What are you talking about?
Because Kakashi remains one of the coolest and strongest
I'm not saying that that's not the case.
He was handing out every sound in the world.
I wouldn't compare Crow to Kakashi. That's all I'm saying. I would compare Crow to maybe Itachi. That's what I thought. Well, I thought he was Itachi. Like,
because crows.
No, but because he started flexing on Winter, drunk, by the way.
Yeah.
While Itachi pulled up, said, "This is a little too tight for me."
Genjutsu.
Hand right here. Kakashi, it's been a while.
Kakashi, the copy ninja. But you notice that he did start to, as the fight went on, he was taking Kakashi that little bit more seriously.
Yeah, but that's fine. But
because that was the next time he had a serious fight.
But dude didn't go Mangekyo. He didn't go Mangekyo during that Kakashi versus Kurenai Asuma.
You want to hear something? You want to hear a hot take?
Go ahead.
Him putting him in the Tsukiyomi, which, by the way, he did because he had to use the Mangekyo to do that.
Is that?
You can't Tsukiyomi without a Mangekyo.
But they didn't show that.
Yes, they did.
They didn't show his eye turn.
They did.
In the anime? Mm-hmm. They showed it for the Matarasu, but they didn't show it for that.
I looked this up again.
I rewatched it like
recently?
At work. Yeah, within the last 2 months.
All right, my bad.
Do that. Like that's when I realized that Itachi had water style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Wild, ain't it?
Yeah.
But Itachi, like...
Never used it again.
If Kakashi and Itachi were to, like, go head up at their strongest... Kakashi's definitely going to lose.
Define Kakashi at his strongest. Are we talking end of the Shippuden?
Yeah, end of Shippuden when he had the perfect Amaterasu. Him and Itachi fight at that Him and Itachi fight at that point and Kakashi still loses. But you would be hard pressed to believe that it was an easy fight because Kakashi, that dimension hopping that's a different level of like everything. Oh no, I got touched by Amaterasu.
But he never used it like Obito did.
I think at the point where he used Kamui shurikens, he probably had the understanding.
I'm not saying he didn't have. I'm just saying they had different styles of
How did we get
it.
here? We're talking about Crow. Oh, yeah, that's what I want to point out.
I was saying
every time
he pulled up in season 3 like Itachi, and then they nerfed him down to Kakashi, and they nerfed him down. They nerfed him down to Izumi Hinko Tetsu. You know who they are.
The Gate Guardians?
Yeah, okay, there we go. We do know who they are. We do know who they are. Hey.
No, bro, we call them those dudes that hold the gate. Don't do that. Don't give me their real names. That's cursed. But no, man, I'm forever upset.
We still ain't never
this,
seen Gimma fight, but we're moving on. Go ahead. Go ahead. He talking to Sasuke like that's his little student. Nah, we ain't seen Gimma fight. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, all of these failings about that RWBY goes through is also kind of sort of in the same realm of like just generally modern storytelling falling too heavily on like trying to avoid tropes and subvert the reader.
Yeah,
Pyrrha dying is like, oh, that would have never happened in a show circa 10 years ago. Right, because there's a reason stuff like that didn't really happen.
Yeah. It's
because shock value only takes you so far.
Right. Which is fine, but you gotta stay consistent. There aren't that many dead bodies in RWBY anymore. Not ones that actually matter anymore.
They definitely imply that people get killed in ways. Like, you can assume that Grimm are killing people because they tell you Grimm are killing people. But, like, none of the people we care about actually suffer.
Like,
Yang lost an arm. That was, like, the last time I felt...
Yeah, but that was season 3. But that doesn't count. That's season 3. What happened in season 4 that made you like, oh, dang.
Well, what happened in season 4 was a waste of time.
That was season 5.
We met Raven.
You know what? Raven did flex, what's her name? Cinder. She did.
She bullied her.
That was a good fight. I said season 6 was the last good one. See, that happened in season 5. Okay.
She bullied her.
She did bully her. But she was also the summer maiden, right? Or fall maiden or whatever.
She was spring. No,
spring maiden.
No. She was summer. Because her name.
Yeah, she wasn't winter. I know that for sure. But yeah,
summer,
that was cold. But then what happened after that? Like what else was?
They really fumbled the final fight with Adam Taurus. That was a poor excuse.
The 2v1 was horrible.
That was a poor excuse for men who have never dealt with abuse, trying to write abuse from the perspective of a woman, and trying to like give you.
And I didn't even mind up until the point where they met at the waterfall. When Blake left to go fight him, I was like, this is actually kind of live. Him like tracking her, looking creepy, and like.
I didn't like that at all because that wasn't how they character. Again, that's not how they characterized Taurus.
But remember, that was after he lost completely. He lost completely.
Yeah, but they made
with the fondness.
Blake makes it sound like he was obsessively stalking her from the start, which is not how Taurus was like.
No, not from the start, but after he lost all standing with all fondness.
I think it still would have been a cooler story for him to hate her and not be obsessed with forcing her to love him or killing her.
Was he doing that? I thought he was obsessed with killing her. I don't know about the forced love after that point. I don't remember that being the case. I remember him being upset that she left him still. And he's like, you're still running because you're a coward. I remember that part. I don't
really want to talk about RWBY anymore because this is making me sad.
All right, go ahead.
It's just like hold tight through the night. It's a new day coming. Things will be alright. Just like that, man. We going in a snap. So live life full. When it's done, it's a wrap. It's just like hold tight through the night. It's a new day coming. Things will be alright. Just like that, man. We going in a snap. So live life full. When it's done, it's a wrap.